Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie and today we're going to work on page number 5 in the Welcome Sweet Boy mini album. For this album, I'm using a digital collection that I purchased on Etsy, and I will link to it in the description box down below. For page number 5, you're going to need some 65-pound cardstock. The first piece you're going to need is the base page. It's 8 1/4 inches wide. We're going to score that at 7 3/4 and 7 1/2 by 7 1/2 inches tall. You're going to need 2 pieces cut to 7 1/2 by 4 1/2, and we're going to score the 4 1/2 inch side at 4 inches and 3 3/4 inches. We're going to need 2 pieces at 7 1/2 by 11, and I don't remember exactly where we're going to score these, but I will talk about that when we get to that part. And we're going to need 2 pieces at 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to score the 4 1/4 inch side at 3 3/4 inches. For pattern papers, we're going to need 2 pieces at 3 1/2 inches squared, 2 pieces at 7 1/4 by 3 1/2, and 1 piece at 7 1/4 inches squared. For colored cardstock, we need 1 piece at 7 3/8 inches squared, 2 pieces at 7 3/8 by 3 5/8, and 2 pieces at 3 5/8 inches squared. So, as always, the first thing we're going to do is get everything scored. Alright, so the 7 1/2 by 11 inch piece, we're going to score that at 10 1/2 inches, 7 inches, and 3 1/2 inches. Let's go ahead and clip the edges of these tabs down to the 4-inch score line. I think the easiest way to do this is probably going to be I try to make it to where the piece that I've written on becomes the tab, but I don't know why I didn't do it that way this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this smaller flap here to the outside of one of the larger flaps. And I'm going to go all the way over to the right side here. And I want to make sure it's lined up perfectly at this corner. If it's a little bit off up here at the top, that's okay. And then this tab is going to be, so this is going to be the top of the page. This is going to be the bottom. I'm going to add this flap to the other side, the left. And I want it lined up perfectly with that corner. So now I'm going to take one of these Z-folded accordion pieces, and I'm going to glue it right along this long edge, long free edge right here. And in fact, I may go ahead and cut another solid cardstock mat just to cover this right here. And we're going to repeat that with the other Z-folded accordion piece. And now we're going to glue both of these down to the base page. And since this is page number 5, we want this tab to be here on the left. And you could completely do this album with the pages in a different order, and if you want to do that, you could always make this an even number page by flipping the tab over to the other side. And right now, since we don't have any paper down, it's not going to be a big deal. And now we're going to add the other accordion to the top. go. Now I'm going to mat the inside. And this we need to make sure we get right side up. There's not going to be a whole lot of weight on this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use double-sided tape. So this is the 7.5 inch squared piece. And that is the end of that roll. I really expected to run out of that roll on page number 4, but now I find that I have the easiest time getting this centered if I steer corners that are opposite each other. So if I'm watching this corner and this corner, I have an easier time getting it centered. And I'm going to use glue on the back of the larger mat because it's going to help seal down or seal in the 2 accordion tabs. And there's going to be a little bit of weight on those. And we want to make sure we get this right side up. So I've got the tab here on the left. I've got my words right side up. I'm just going to center it. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mount or mat these 2 outer larger flaps the same way. So this is going to be the 7¼ by 3½ inch mat that I'm going to mount on the 7 3/8 by 5 3/8 mat. It ended up a little wonky, but it's okay. That's better. Now we're going to glue this down, one to each of these larger flaps. And right now I've got my fingers crossed that I can get this album done in the next couple of days. It's going to be a total of 12 pages, one for each month of baby's first year. And we're on page number 5. So I've got 7 more pages to go. I've got them all designed, but I don't have the pattern papers printed out. I don't have any of the other cardstock cut. And I think the last video of the Life in Full Bloom collection is going to be releasing in a couple of days. So I don't have a whole lot of time to get it wrapped up and then get at least the flip through edited. So fingers crossed I don't miss a day. So now we're going to mount these 3.5 inch squared pieces on top of the 3 5/8 inch squared pieces. I'm just going to do glue because that's faster. And then I'll show you what I got in mind for the closure. For the closure, I'm going to put a grommet right here. And right here. Now, if you have hole protectors, you could easily just use hole protectors instead. I don't have a hole protector, so I'm going to use a grommet. This might have been easier before it was on the album. I've got some baker's twine and I'm gonna run some through here, and I'm also going to tie it off right there so that it doesn't get lost when mom and dad are flipping through the album. And then run the other end through here. And I promise I can actually tie a bow. It's just not wanting to do right today. Alright, that is page number 5. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more mini album related content. If you have any questions, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!